Yes, Noël Le Graët has resigned, but he's not really going to step away from football completely.
It leaves me with a lot of interrogation points and questions, but what strikes me most is that this process has been going on for a long time, a process of reckless statements, thoughtless, things that he would say to the media, a behavior a constant behavior of sexual harassment. Many women from the FFF came out and spoke about it, but none of that was what started the avalanche, what started the snowball effect.
Was it just the Zidane comment?
It was just the statement against Zinedine Zidane. I mean, France is a country of diversity. People worship different things, but there's one thing sacred for all French people that you don't touch, apparently, and that's Zinedine Zidane. But I was struck that that's what started this whole process, because for the longest time, women spoke openly about a behavior with this man, that he's sexually harassing them, that he's using his professional power to put them in uncomfortable situations, but none of that mattered. It was his reckless statement against Zinedine Zidane that started this process. So by this point, to come out and say that he would stay in the world of football,
it's a slap in the face to those women.
In many ways, yes, and in many ways to the people who love this sport. But I think that he has valuable things that will back him up when it comes to this. Let's not forget that this person is given to football more than any other president in the history of the FFF. The World Cup, the final that followed, hosting the Euro in 2016, injecting a lot of money to the women's sport, and hosting the 2019 Women's World Cup. So yes, he has done a lot for the world of football, but none of that covers the fact that his behavior, shouldn't keep him in position.
But you just said that for many years there have been these accusations of sexual and moral harassment, and for many years people within the FFF chose to turn a blind eye, it would seem. So what does it tell you about the organization itself?
The world of football over the last few years, not just the French Federation, the UEFA, FIFA, we are coming across a lot of wrongdoings, and there is one pattern that keeps striking me, and I have no answer whatsoever. But these men high up, they seem like they believe that
they're invincible.
They're just invincible, untouchable. They get to a point where they have given so much that they think they're entitled to take back whatever they feel like taking back. And I think when it comes to Le Graët, he's just another man. And until he really falls, he will do as much as he could and take as much as he can. And it's a pattern that's, in many ways, I'd hate to use the word, but it's a little disgusting.
It is disgusting. Let's talk about his protege for a second, Corinne Diacre. Do you expect her resignation will follow suit?
I mean, let's talk about it from a football point of view.
Sure.
It's a toxic environment. Several players came out. They spoke against her. They spoke about the fact that she's a bully, that there's a line. There was this interview from Henri Amandine, one of the key players. And she said that she provides a very toxic environment where she insults people. It's not about motivating. It's not about being tough on your players and talking about the technical aspect. It's about going after the human that they are and insulting them. And that's not an environment you want to be heading to the World Cup with. And now that you have several key players speaking out, I mean, I have 5 key names here talking against her, including obviously Renard. Yes, it's not an environment and it's not an atmosphere you want to head to the World Cup with. And without Le Graët, who for the longest time backed her up, I think she would be, the right call is for the ex-com to either fire her or for her to just do the right thing and resign.
Do you think it's possible for the French Football Federation to clean up its act, given that for so many years there's been this culture, this toxic culture that's been at the helm?
They should. Will they? I don't know, because I've seen this pattern with FIFA, with UEFA, and little is being done. Little is being done.
Because, as you said, the fact that Noël Le Graët gave France so many wins.
I think this federation profited from, don't forget the fact that they made a lot of money for the French Federation and for the French world of sport, 72 million in profit in 2022 alone. And he injected a lot of money in youngsters, in amateur football. Yes, French football is living through its best days ever, thanks to Le Graët. And I think that's what backs him up, and that's why him and the people around him thought that they can get to a point where they're quite untouchable.
At 81 years old, he is refusing to just ride off into the sunset. Thank you very much. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.